Bring me sunshine in your smile. Bring me laughter all the while. In this world where we...
Hello, my name's Owen.
Hi, I'm Talia.
And we're from Morecambe Community High School. We're sixth formers. And we did the Wise Words project on Mr. Golly Goulding.
You might know him from the Paul Hayes collection.
He's quite an antiques dealer.
And we had the great pleasure of interviewing him wandering around his empire.
And it was quite fun to look round all the little pieces and collections that he's had over the years.
And memories. It was a pleasure meeting Mr. Golly Goulding.
Oh, definitely. He was such a character, such a wonderful man to talk to.
Lots of laughs.
I had so many memories of Morecambe and all the bands that he's played in over the years.
Golly Goulding, the name is, well, Steve Goulding, the real name is, but I'm known as Golly. Local boy, been around here 68 years. Left school in 1962. By the time I was 16, I was fed up. I went to London to be a musician. Came back to Morecambe to do a summer season, and at the end of the season I was skint, and I became an antique dealer.
I ask, why did you start playing guitar?
Our next door neighbours got a TV in 1956, and I went round one Saturday and there was a TV programme that had just started called 6-5 Special, and I saw Tommy Steele. I was full of it. I thought, this is what I want to do. Went home, made a guitar, got a panel lid, a wooden spoon there, you know, and that was it, like, you know. In 1956, that was my Christmas present.
Oh, wow.
24 shillings. Mum and Dad thought, oh, it's just, you know, they thought guitars were toys. Rock and roll was just coming, everybody was doing this, you know. The oil, you know, it's just a phase, you know, it'll grow out of it. Second year, a slightly bigger Tommy Steele plastic guitar. I was still interested, you see. Third Christmas, I'm getting up towards probably 11 or 12 now. I actually got a wooden guitar.
Oh.
And that's how it went on. And then as soon as I left school, we went up to the music shop, got my mum and dad to sign up for electric guitar and amplifier on HP. That took all my wages. My wages then was just over £3 a week. But the HP was about £2.50 a week. Yeah. So, but that's kind of been my life really, playing. You know, I was 15. Yeah, just started this group, which really.
What were you called?
Jet Black and the Dakotas.
Wow.
Yeah, Shadows and Buddy Holly stuff. That was kind of the easiest stuff. The very first pub we did, yeah, funny enough, Davy Jones' Locker on Morecambe.
Really?
Yeah, under the Clarendon.
Under the Clarendon, on the West End, yeah.
Yeah, £5 a night between us. Then I was a professional musician when I was 16 in London. In them days, all groups, they held these auditions for groups to go and work on American army bases in Germany and France. But all the groups, loads and loads of groups were going out there playing, and that's what I wanted to do. We passed, to be honest, we sailed through all the auditions, you know, always did.
Which band was this?
This would be the Leaders, Mel Dean and the Leaders. That was a good little group. Anyway, I passed all these auditions and I couldn't go. I was underage. And Lancashire Evening Post came down to do a feature on us, how old are you? 17. Anyway, they put it in the paper, and Jim, the landlord, he said, you bloody told me you were 18. Got a telegram to come home to do a job. Anyway, it turned out to be a big long summer season. That was at the Tivoli Bar, 7 nights a week. To January 1966. So, all finished, Morecambe dead in winter. Me, being a musician, scared to have to go and get a job, look for a job. And that's kind of how I drifted into the antique business, you know. I was doing a bit of market trading, and then I got a shop, and I had a van, and a fella came in and asked me to pick up this big piece of furniture in Lancaster and bring it to Morecambe. And unbeknown to me, the first piece that I ever moved for him was a Queen Anne chest on chest. Just a piece of junk as far as I was concerned then. Anyway, I had the transport, he had the knowledge, and so we started working together, and that's how I got into the antique business. I suppose my favourite piece, and it isn't really an antique, is a Wurlitzer jukebox.
Chicago all over again, Tally. Aw. Such a wonder machine, isn't it? Lovely.
I was still playing at night, you know, locally, yeah. So I was doing all right. I had the best of both worlds, you know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the antique business is the best job in the world anyway, you know, and so is being a musician. So, you know, I've had best of both worlds. And still doing it. You know,
To this day, yes.
68.
Antiques and music.
Yeah, I should have retired years ago, but I don't want to.
What were the most memorable bands that you supported?
The Kinks.
Kinks, I love the Kinks.
The Kinks. They were #1 at the time. This was at the Floral Hall in Morecambe. We all shared one. There was only one dressing room, which we all shared. So we're all in this one dressing room. We'd gone on stage, done our bit. Come off, the Kinks went on. Everybody screaming. We couldn't get out of the door, so we were locked in the dressing room. And then the Kinks came off in the dressing room, and we couldn't get out because there was hundreds of fans outside wanting to get at the Kinks. We wanted a drink, you know, and we couldn't get out of the bar. And I can remember one of the staff, one of the bouncers, going to the bar, jumping onto the stage up front. This is while there's a band on, a group on, jumping up stage, onto the stage, coming round the back and bringing us beer. And we were in there for hours and hours. So yeah, that was the one I do remember most. Yeah, everything was happening in Morecambe. And you know, we never thought it was ever going to end.
Oh.
Do you think it'll come back?
No.
That kind of music scene?
I mean, this is my kind of this is my idea of heaven.
This
I
is
love just old things in general. It's
Do you?
fantastic. Yes.
Everything's got a history.
Oh.
I mean, I've had a lifetime of it.
Goodness me! Look at
those
these.
cases.
We played with the Yardbirds at the Floral, shared a dressing room. I was with Eric Clapton all night, you know, which we all were, you know. I mean, that was no big deal. That's just how it was. And I'd always admired his playing, loved his playing, still do. And I was telling him, you know, how I liked his playing, you know. And remember, he's not the superstar; he's just the guitar player. He said, yeah, he said, I've been watching you. He said, I was out front watching you. He said, I like your playing as well. Now that story has got so bloody out of hand with local musicians over the years, you know. Yeah, Golly played with Clapton and he blew him off stage. You heard him pulling all the stops out, yeah? That's what it is. Yeah, the sound. I would form a group and get us up and running, you know, doing okay. And then I'd get fed up with it, you know, and I'd leave and then I'd form another group, and we'd get up and running, and I got bored again, and I spent most of my life doing that. Yeah. I started a group in the 70s when we were doing cabaret, you know, when I told you with the red fender and the called Highway. I started that group, and you know, they went on for about 30 years, that group.
So you've been going around leaving legacies in all these little bands?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I bought that, the credit card Christmas thing. I got that.
Oh, well, I wrote it.
Really? Did you?
Really?
Oh, it was wonderful. I
Good
loved
song, isn't it?
Yeah.
When did you start the Paul Haynes?
So I'm invited to Paul's 40th birthday, and later on in the night, they start doing this bloody karaoke. So Paul's getting up singing Elvis stuff and old rock and roll stuff. I said, I didn't know you were into that, Paul. And I said, come down one night. I said, no, I'll get a few of the lads round. You know, we'll have a little jam session. But for a bit of fun, we took a booking at the Park Hotel. It went down well. So one thing led to another, and that's how it started. You know the Morecambe and Wise
Yes.
show that they did 3 or 4 years ago, maybe now. It was filmed in Morecambe. Yeah, we supplied all the props for that.
Amazing.
Yeah, we've done some Downton Abbey stuff.
Ah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Say I'm a bad boy. Say I'm a bad boy. Say I'm a bad boy. Even dear old dad, when he gets mad, says I'm a bad boy. Says I'm a bad boy. Says I'm a bad boy. Well, you see now I've got a girl. We stay out late almost every night. Yeah, the people just stare and they declare, well, it just ain't right. If